All right, welcome back. Under the rug, we have returned. We have Dakota Marshall, who is cautiously driving right now, but still participating in the show as she keeps her eyes on the road and not looks at the phone. She has the hands free so she can hear through her speakers. So we are not encouraging people to use their phone and drive. If you try to say that, we ain't doing that. We tell her Dakota keep her eyes on the road, listen to the speakers and just talk. Don't look at us. We also have Christina Marley and Thompson, aka Chrissy Love, and a couple of my favoriteest gals in the world. And you know, I appreciate their input, appreciate their experience, I appreciate their intelligence, I appreciate their perspective on a lot of issues, and especially issues like this that involve, women. I like to get a woman's perspective, and so we're going to be discussing the various forms of rape, the many faces of rape, because I must say I was moved. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I was tuned into the 10th year seniors. Big up to 10th year seniors. Doing wonderful
I love that
things.
show.
Yes, and they have a.
I hear the show. I read the story. Andre's still waiting on my interview from 2 years ago. Salty.
But yes, they do many things from sports. They record, the sports shows. They report on sports, and they also have podcasts. And they have a 8-year juniors podcast. And I was actually listening to it. I think it was day before yesterday. Because when I work, I like to have stuff in the background. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that I have playing in the background as I work. And I was just listening to the show, and as it went on, they had two female guests on the show, or two women guests on the show. And one of them just, started about half an hour in. And I encourage you guys to go listen to it because I'm trying to get her on for the show for next week. And so I encourage you guys to go ahead, follow the 10th year seniors on SoundCloud and look for the episode that's called Consent, because they were discussing consent. And about 30 minutes in, the lady that was on the show just started off and said, I was raped last April, and I lift my head up. I say, what? And she continued to tell her story, and it was about her being date raped. Something we may not be aware that takes place often in this country. But it was of date rape, and it opened my eyes because you hear about it, when you hear about these things, just people saying things in conversation or whatever. But to hear it straight from a victim and hear the whole experience, it was like wow, it was like an eye opener for me. So I wanted to open the conversation about the various forms of rape, because a lot of us, when we hear rape, we just think, oh, you catch this girl in one alley, you throw her down, you force her, and you have sex with her against her will. We think like that's rape, but it comes in.
We think it's just a violent act. Like we only acknowledge the violent act of rape. Right. Like from somebody who you don't know, you jogging and they pull you in the bush or pull you in a car and rape you. That's the only rape they seem to be, familiar with.
Right. Sad. Lots of date rape in the Bahamas.
And I just wanted to shed light on it because apparently this thing happens a lot. And she even said on the show that it happened to her 16-year-old sister too. And so it was insane to me. And so I want to shed light on that issue. So like I said, I'm going to try to get her on for next week where she can, again tell her story. To people, and we could go deeper because there are some questions that I wanted to ask her about the whole ordeal, and so I won't ask those now. I rather ask her. So we'll wait for next week, but we can open the conversation about the various forms of rape, and date rape is one of them. Statutory rape is another one. These old men preying on underage girls, and boys. Yes. And then we have, of course, the one that's been getting a lot of buzz is marital rape. People talk about marital rape within marriage or whatever. But there are many forms of rape. And also Dakota actually tagged me in a video. And I think it was, what's the name of it again? Consensual rape?
Consensual rape. Which is, it's apparently a term or a thing. I don't necessarily know if I agree with it 100%, really? But it's worth a conversation, I think.
Oxymoron.
Now, when you say you don't agree with it 100%, what do you mean exactly? Which aspects of it that you don't agree with?
I don't agree with the term, but I would say, because consensual has a very ending. Exactly, Chris. It's very contradictory.
Hold on.
So
Dakota, you riding through Camp Road?
I can lose y'all for a minute because in the back here the signal bad.
I asked now if you riding through Camp Road because your signal just get dead choppy just now. I couldn't hear nothing.
Why Camp Road?
Because
signals go bad in Albany too.
Listen, religiously when I ride up close to that, that hill coming up on Camp Road, religiously my signal is just go. Certain spots through there, I don't know what's going on, but the signal is just terrible. All right, so let's hopefully Dakota rides in a better area. But what do you think about that, Chrissy, consensual rape?
Well, first of all, consensual rape to me is a contradiction of terms. It's an oxymoron because I don't know. I mean, maybe in some serious sex play fantasy world that may make sense, but I don't understand consensual rape.
Well, let me explain because I don't think you saw the video. What he is saying is, and if I remember correctly, it was him describing like scenarios where men would sort of pressure women into saying yes. So it would be like, you come over and they keep, asking about it, keep asking until, a girl just decides, oh, okay. They don't want to do it, but because they're being pressured so much, or they may feel like they're in a position where danger is involved, like he may just decide to rape me or decide to take it if I say no. So let me just say yes so that I could at least have some form of control. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but like a situation like that where they feel as though the man may potentially rape them, so they say yes, but they don't want to do it. I think that's the way he described it.
My God, that's awful. Well, I guess many women have been consensually raped then.
But have you experienced that?
Of course.
Tell us about an experience. You don't have to call a name, but
well, and the thing is, I went back. You notice I turned my head to the side because it's amazing when you have these triggers and it jogs these memories in your head. Having been in a situation where you're in a room, you're in a place where there's one way in, one way out. This was in my college days. And I remember thinking, well, all this pressure, if I don't say yes, then, he just may hold me down in this loft and I'll get whole in the dance. So I know I've been in that situation. I'm sure a lot of women have been in that situation. But there's still a situation where I knew the person. Because I've experienced some of these heinous ways that we treat women in the world, unfortunately. And so I'm thinking about that. I guess that could be, because you're in a car with somebody. You figure, remember this back in the day in the Bahamas, we used to go, watch the sun and the moon and the stars or the sunrise, and you out here in Adelaide, and this Negro pressuring you, and you'd be like, well, damn, if I don't say yes, he can leave me out here in the car. I can get back out here from Adelaide back home. So I guess if that's the definition of consensual rape, I guess many of us have been raped consensually. That's sick as fuck, though.
Yes, it is. But these things happen in a lot, and they're not often talked about. And I honestly can't remember a real full-on conversation about like date rape, for example. I don't hear anybody speak about date rape. You only hear about it like in small conversations you may have with, your friends or your peers or whatever.
I talk about date rape on the air all the time because plenty of people have told me. Because I shared the story where the person who date raped me, when I saw him as a crackhead Jones on the road, yeah, Patrick, good you bitch. Yeah. So when I saw him on the road as a crackhead, I knew that the Lord had healed me because a couple of times I would give Patrick food to eat or money because I felt sorry for him as a crackhead on the road. But when he was driving the fancy Camaro and trying to roll up on people all the time, and raping women and thinking that it's cute. Because many women, you men will never know what it's like to be afraid where any day somebody could attack you and think it's okay to do so. There's a level of fear. Even like if you walking down the street at night and people, cat calling and screaming at you, there's this fear. And I think a lot of men don't realize the fear that we women feel all the time when we're in a place where we put ourselves in those situations, like you at a party and all of a sudden people start leaving, you're the only one there, and you start being aware, hold on, I'm the only woman here. Okay, let me get out here before something go down. So date rape happens a lot in the Bahamas. We just don't talk about it a lot because Bahamian men still feel like your pussy is their own.
Yes, for some reason.
Yeah, it don't belong to you. It's their right to just jump on it and take it.
Especially if you got on some pom-pom shorts.
Oh, yeah, please.
Don't let you have on pom-pom shorts or have your breasts popping up out the top of your shirt.
That's the invitation.
That's
right. Man, sad.
Unfortunate.
That's so sad.
Unfortunate.
But I venture to say many women have experienced that before. So you taught me something today: consensual rape.
Yeah, and that's like I said. That's what she and I saw. I actually saw the video before she tagged me in it. I saw it before, and I understand what he's saying. But I guess it goes back to what you just said, because us as men would never understand the level of fear felt by a woman, then I won't completely get why someone would agree, or a woman would agree to go as far as to have sex with someone that they know they don't want to have sex with. But like you said, it's that degree of fear.
But I get that. Look, you see Black Velvet, she say her neighbor Prince tried to do that. And see, I believe that's why we got to call these man name, but they nasty.
Please.
Ass.
Well, matter of fact, tell us, do you care to tell us what happened in the situation where you were date raped?
Well, I was held down. Again, I was in this car, driving around. And back in the day, this old because the nigga had a Camaro.
Motherfucker.
You even know what that is, eh?
Yeah, I know. How you mean? My auntie loved them. She had them one old Camaro.
So, he had been asking me, we used to work together, and he had been asking me to go out, and we knew each other because his brother was a very famous person in radio. So I kind of knew him, and I eventually said yes, and he felt that he could drive out. I think it was Adelaide or somewhere. It was somewhere far. And in my mind, I kept saying, hold on, if this Negro kicked me out the car, how I can get home.
Wow.
And this is before the days when you had cell phone. I didn't even have the brick back then.
Right.
Okay, this way before.
Before a pigeon.
And so I remember him just, forcing himself on me and thinking it was okay.
Wow.
And I'm just like, you know what?
So did he tell you beforehand that you all were going out Adelaide? Or did you get in the car and then he say?
We was going driving. You see, back before in the day, like in the 80s, used to drive around Nassau like you had nothing to do.
Oh, well, that ain't date rape. That's rape.
Well, the thing is, if you're on a date, I went into the car. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, okay. But let me define date rape.
It was a so-called date. I'm going to take you for a ride. That was back in the day, used to go get ice cream at, what one was Dipper Don out? No, Dipper Don wasn't out then. Howard Johnson say. Greg, you know what Dipper Don is?
No, I know what that is.
See, look at Black Velvet. She telling the same story. Says she jumped in the car and the K Beach area was on for the summer.
I jumped. Black Velvet Fergie says I jumped out his car and the Cable Beach area was home for the summer. Wow. So what I wanted to ask is, like, you said you all had no plans to really go anywhere specific. You all was going driving around.
This new Camaro.
Uh-huh.
And he said, and like I said, he had been asking me out for a long time, but I just was like, no, I was young. I wasn't really thinking about dick,
Right.
So I said eventually, because he worked with my stepfather, and I eventually said, okay, well, we can go riding. And little did I know that would result in being held down out either Adelaide or what's that of Gambia, one of them far places where you don't walk home from.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot. But
like
what
I said, I got a delight out of it now because he's a raging crackhead in the streets of the Bahamas, and I will admit I take a delight when I see him in the road. I'll pop down and crack down. I actually get excited.
But Dakota, you could cut the radio down just a little bit because it's feedback coming through. But what I was about to say is date rape. What?
Yeah, I have my first estimation. The Wi-Fi around here a little stooly though.
Not stooly. I can't take it.
It's
But what I was explaining was date rape isn't essentially going out for a date and then getting raped. What we consider to be date rape, and I could be wrong, but this is what I understand of it, is when
that's what it is. You go out on a date with a man for one reason, to go on a ride. He believed he could climb on top of you and hold you down.
Well, let me know if I'm correct, Dakota. But what I understand is when someone slips something in your drink and then take advantage of you. Like, that's what I understand.
No, that's rape.
That's what I understand date rape to be. That's what I always understood it to be. I could be wrong, like I say, I don't know, but I always understood date rape to be where someone slip something in your drink and then take advantage of you.
Well, that could be a part of it if you go out on a date and someone puts something in your drink. But the thing is, if you're on a date with someone, and first of all, very few times do you go on a date with someone who you may know. Mm-hmm. In my case, I knew him because of the connection. But if you're on a date with somebody and they just feel they can hold you down and rape you, because if you say and you keep saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, and if you in the car getting grind and crying, mm-hmm. you getting raped. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand those definitions. So now, like I told Dakota, I learned something new about consensual. Yeah, so I guess consensual rape and date rape are along the same trajectory.
That's what it sounds like. What happened to you when you were taken out west? It's like you said, you had a affair, you didn't know how you were going to get back home, and so you felt like, I have to give in to this dude so that I could get home safely. So you said yes, but you didn't really want to.
Right.
So that's what my understanding of the whole consensual rape thing was.
I learned that consensual/date. Good to know. I learned something today on Under the Rug episode 80.
Yes, episode 80. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I don't know if Dakota having difficulties. Let me put it down here right quick.
Child, only the grace of God have me saying. I know you don't believe in him or her, Greg, but
right.
Only the grace of God have me saying. Well, and that's why I know that God was working on me when I could actually give that Negro food to go feed himself and go bathe.
Oh, you gave him food?
Well, I would see him a lot. It happened at one time. He was working at the place where I was working at as a security person. Mm-hmm. So every morning I would park my car, and he would tell me his sob story. And I'd be like, you forget you raped me, eh?
But tell me this. And this is what I also want to ask the young lady. Did you ever report it?
No, I didn't report it because what do I say? I went in the car with Patrick and we went out Adelaide. And then I had, why I didn't report it too? Because shortly before that, I had seen a rape trial where I saw how this woman was denigrated in her trial. Is this the dress you were wearing? And da-da-da-da-da. And I said, you know what? Lakeitra, I can't take it. And so I didn't report it because at the time, again, when women cry that they've been attacked, we don't take it very seriously. Mm-hmm. And plus, remember, I was a child growing up. I remember seeing when you do report things to the police, they tell you to go walk it off.
Hold on, what?
Like,
wait.
When you report things to the police, like for example, I grew up in a home where there was some abuse, and I remember a lot of times when the police would call, the police would tell the man to go walk it off.
Walk it off.
I didn't have too much hope in reporting things. That was the message I was always sent.
And this is my whole thing because unfortunately the young lady didn't report it as well. And this seems to be a common thing where rapes go unreported all the time. Almost to the point where I'm almost venturing into being able to say that we may have more rapes that take place that are unreported than that are reported.
Because first of all, you have rape trials that happened 5 years ago just coming to court. Who the fuck wants to relive that over and over?
Right, and that's the scary thing because we one of, if not the leader in the region when it comes to reported rapes. So
we are number one per capita.
So can you imagine the rapes that are not reported if that was to be taken into account as well? We number one without that. So imagine.
Sure.
But I want to get, and I think that goes to the essence of the problem and why this continues to exist. Even when it comes to statutory rape, when it comes to rape, older men sleeping with underage girls or boys, like you said, it just goes unreported. And so it continues to happen. But let's get to the bottom of why we don't report. And like you said, you gave examples. You don't have faith in the justice system.
Not at all.
You felt that it would be a mockery made of it, and it wouldn't be taken serious. And you felt that you would be then turned into almost like the evil person in this scenario.
The victim is the person who gets blamed.
Right. And this is a serious. So we have to address that issue when it comes to where's the issue. Or it could be both, but you have.
Well, you saw recently the last show we had. The police still don't take it seriously because they tell you don't dress a certain way and you won't get feel bajankano.
Well, that is true.
You could be wearing a burqa and get feel bajankano.
That is true.
Because men and boys are not taught boundaries. They're not taught that you don't touch a person without their permission. And because we women are raised to be so fearful, we give in.
Wow, and Black Velvet is saying today when I ride by that house, it gives me memories.
You see?
That's something that scars someone for life, man.
It does. And see, she said she was 17.
Say no to
it's
me
sad.
at
That's
17.
a very sad situation.
I never knew there was nothing to report. Wow.
Well, until we change the conversation, Greg, about how women and girls are treated in the country, it's like how in the Bahamas you have a man stalk a girl on the park, 6 years old, rape her from her rooter to her tutor, go to jail, come back out, get released, and then come back out and do it again.
What?
The Bridgewater, Andrew Bridgewater, the guy at the gas station who the Bahamian people likes to kill that day.
Oh, that's right. And
see, that's why, and I try not to remember these things in my brain, but you can't help.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't take it serious, man.
We don't. Our justice system has never taken it seriously.
That is ridiculous. And I can't imagine going through something so traumatic only to have that feeling as though you can't get justice anywhere.
You can't.
And you don't know who to go to. So you never. When was the first time? Let me try add Dakota back. Hopefully.
I told one of the authority figures in my life who was their boss. But then that didn't help because that same authority figure had done shit to me as well.
What?
Women are repeatedly raped, molested, and abused in the Bahamas, and our families condone it, our mothers condone it. And since I started talking about it, I keep telling you, since I started talking about my experiences, I have lost my entire, not entire, but a lot of people don't like you telling the stories.
Right. Wow.
Do you have children getting raped in the home? I have a friend who got raped by her own father.
We can see you, Dakota. Do me a favor, Dakota, if you can. Turn. I think you're listening to the radio. If you turn it down just enough for you to hear, because how it loud, it coming right back, and we could hear too.
Okay.
Yeah. So cut it down so where you could hear it.
All right,
Bing. We good to go. We could hear you. We could see you. All right. So yeah, we were just discussing the underreporting of rape. How many, so many rapes take place and go unreported. And I was saying the young lady on the show, she didn't report it. Chrissy was talking about when she was raped by the person that took her out in the car. She didn't report it. It seems to be a common thing that women don't report it. And I was just trying to find out why is it that so many women and girls don't report when they are raped.
I think it's because we've bred embarrassment around the topic. It's something that we society has taught us to, sweep it under the rug. Because if you rape, first and foremost, the first thing you have to assess is, was this my fault? Because that's what we've been taught.
I went in the car.
Was I dressed appropriately? Did I give him the wrong idea? Did I bring this on myself? So when you think about going to the police station and you're already shamed, because that's what we say. You're already shamed that it happened, and then you have to face the fear of going and saying to another complete stranger, somebody raped me. And then there's a fear of rejection of somebody looking you in your face and saying, well, tell me the story, how this happened, what you was doing, what y'all was doing there. It's the fear of that just not being believed entirely as well. Because a lot of people say, I didn't think it's his word against mine, so who could believe me?
Yeah.
And the police don't give you sympathy. You may find a person who would give you sympathy, but again, our whole approach to how we deal with the fact when women and girls cry out and say that they have been assaulted, our response to it isn't the best response. And I brought up Dakota the whole just last Christmas with the police advisory. The police lack the sensitivity. Now with more women on the force, it's a bit better now, but it still sucks.
Is it though?
I don't know, Chrissy. I don't know. Is the presence of female officers make one bit of a difference? To be honest,
because a lot of women, a lot of women have the same mentality. Well, child, you just better going out dressing up like a hoe. You's a prostitute. Hey, why you was wearing that? Where you going looking like that? You should have covered yourself up. Because I hear a lot of women hold these same positions that these men take when it comes to this issue as well. So is it really better?
Well, it does, but there is a little more sensitivity. See, I remember the force in the 80s when it happened to me. The police force is a different police force from the 1980s than it is right now.
Well, definitely a far cry.
Right.
What can we do to make our police officers more sensitive, more empathetic, and take these issues and these reports more seriously, because clearly I think that's the beginning point to actually taking action to get these predators off the streets, is reporting it to the police. So that's the first step before we even get to the judicial system. So what can we do to improve our police response to these issues?
Definitely, I think basic knowledge of I think Bahamians in general lack basic knowledge of what rape actually is. Like we said earlier, people just think and assume that rape is this violent act that could just happen out of nowhere from somebody that you don't even know, from an absolute complete stranger. When in fact, the majority of the rapes that occur in this country are done by acquaintances, people that you know, people that you work with, co-workers. These things happen. Family, all the time. The majority of rapes that occur are from people that you know. And it's called acquaintance rape. And so even if you're just dating somebody, and you don't want to have sex with them, but they decide that they want to have sex with you, and they rape you, if you go to the police could say, but isn't that your boyfriend? And you're dating? So what?
The police say that now.
Right.
Isn't that your ex-husband?
Wow.
Exactly.
And Black Bevel Fergie is saying, well, she's continuing on her situation where she jumped out the car. She said he never got to rape me, but the mere fact that he was my neighbor, just like you saying, Dakota, someone known to her. He was my neighbor and tried to force himself on me. It was enough for me. A guy who went to a private Catholic school had the nerve. And he had sisters. And that's another thing. Like, men do these things, right? Men tend to do these things. Well, not all men, of course not. But the men that do these things.
Men who rape.
Yes, the men that do these things, that rape and force themselves onto women, would never accept a man doing this to either their mother, their sister, their cousin, or anybody close to them. They would not accept it, but yet they find their actions to be completely acceptable and okay. And that's what I never understood.
That's absurd, right?
That's the condoning. Remember, in the Bahamas, we had a cabinet minister accused of rape, and I know the woman who made the accusation, but because of the fear, she opted out.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
You know Bradley Roberts was accused of rape. Y'all forget?
I didn't know. When was this?
Well, he was in the Christie cabinet, so I guess it had to be 2002-ish or something.
Oh, wow. Okay, so fairly recent.
And all the rape report came out. Who been up in this? Who been up in my things?
Oh, wow. Wow. No,
See, there's a conversation where women and girls are not valued, and so, taking your pussy don't mean nothing to them.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? You know what also another aspect is, right? And what I got from listening to the show, right, was when she continued to describe the aftermath, right? Because she said she was blacking in and out because her drink was spiked, or is it spiked?
Wow.
Not spiked, because it was, what do you call it when someone slips something in your drink? Anyhow, they put something in her drink and
she was roofied.
Yeah, whatever
Mickey
you call
or
it.
roofie.
So they put something in the drink and she was in and out of consciousness. At one point, she woke up while he was having sex with her. And she knew she remembered.
That's traumatic, babe.
Yeah, and she remembered telling him prior, I'm not in my right state of mind, so please don't, do nothing to me or whatever. So she woke up then, met him having sex with her, blacked out again, and then when she woke up, I guess the next morning, guess what? Guess who on the side of her laying off, sleeping good? The same dude. So,
yeah, that's not surprising.
So
why is that surprising to you, Greg? You have men who beat their wives and then go to sleep. Close eye.
But here's what I get not right. It's I don't think this dude felt he did anything wrong.
That's the sad part.
Exactly.
Because I would
he
think
doesn't know any better.
Because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm getting at. Because if you know you do something wrong, you rape somebody, you're trying to do what you gotta do and get out. And that's what I'm thinking. You ain't gonna lay off comfortable on the side of her, waking up on the side of her, and even he had to take her home, and she had this look on her face because clearly you just been raped, so you look uncomfortable, and he could see it on her face, and she said, he started to rub her leg because he could see she looked uncomfortable. So it's like. This nigga don't even know that he just raped this girl. So
But he's trying to lie to himself like most men who are rapists do. And you have men who are serial rapists.
But maybe not, Chrissy, because look at it like this. If you come up around people who are in a culture where preying on women who are under the influence is okay. Like you all believe that, okay, well, hey, she get drunk, she pass out or whatever, that's on her.
Yeah, many people believe that.
If you come up believing that that's okay, then you don't think you do something wrong. And clearly this dude didn't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah, because I could understand from that perspective that, quite frankly, he didn't see anything wrong with it because, I mean, look around us, look in society. Who is saying in the last 10 years, have you seen any kind of literature or anything in the media that says, listen, young men, this is what rape is and this is why it's wrong?
Right.
Well, the Crisis Center does try to do that, but
Chrissy, people have cable now. Nobody watches that mess. So they're obviously not trying hard enough. It's not a topic that people even want to discuss. Like I say, it's still taboo in the Bahamas. Rape is still taboo, and it is absolutely ridiculous.
You're talking
it's
about
something
rape.
that we sweep under the rug.
The word sex is still taboo. That's the problem.
Exactly.
I don't know how.
You can't say sex on the radio in a lot of instances. That's our problem. We have demonized sex to where we can't have these conversations because nobody want to talk about juicing. Nobody want to talk about sex. And this
but we the juicinest nation.
But they like juice so much.
That's what I'm saying. For a nation that is juice so much, we don't like talk about it. Who does juice more than us? I don't understand this nonsense.
There's juice. They juicing undercover.
Juicing straight through, but don't want to have these discussions. And I think it's important for us to actually lay out clearly what rape is and what is okay and what isn't okay. And that's not what's happening with these young men now. That's why they're coming up seeking.
I agree, Greg. And because I'll say this, I am 34 years old, right? I'm 34 years old.
That's like you old, but
I shut up, buddy. I cannot recall during my lifetime from high school to now as an adult female where I have personally seen a billboard, a pamphlet, a flyer in the Bahamas, a program that says, listen, people, listen, young men, this is what rape is. This is how we categorize rape. This is how you define rape, and this is why it is wrong. Wow. So imagine the little whippersnappers who just born in the 90s, in the 95s, coming up, and they ain't never heard no literature of what rape is. All they assume rape is what you always see on TV. Mm-hmm. Somebody roll up on you and yuck you in the car. You jogging in the park and somebody yuck you in the bush. That's all they know. And if they ain't doing that, then guess what? It's not rape.
Well, listen.
Wow. So your mom don't teach you these things.
Yeah, we ain't got time.
Come on.
The country ain't got time to teach us what rape is. They gotta try to get people to stop smoking dope. That's why you see all these drug billboards.
No, the country
raping us. About stopping you from smoking dope and teaching you what rape is. That's more important. We ain't got time for that.
Because these parents ain't talking to their children about sex. So if they're not talking to their children about sex, how in the world they talking to their children about rape?
That's sad. So you bring children in the world and just let them fly in the wind.
And another thing, what I wanted to discuss too. You know what our problem is too? Unfortunately, we too trustworthy.
Yeah, we are to a degree. I agree with you on that.
We go out. What was so funny? Not funny. What was so unfortunate about the situation was she was out with her friend, and this a girl. And we got to discuss this too. These rape accomplices. These women that go out and allow things to happen to you, who you go out with, and they don't step in and help when they know something wrong. So she was actually with someone who she thought was her friend, a girl. And she was there the whole time. Actually, the person that raped her was her friend.
Wow.
Her friend. So she didn't even know this boy. And she was there. She didn't stop it. She didn't intervene and nothing like that. And we too trustworthy because I know people still warn their kids at times, like, listen, don't leave your drink nowhere. Don't have an open drink or whatever and leave it. Make sure you could always see it. But at times we're like, man, this my friend. They ain't gonna do nothing. No, they gonna watch this for me or this and that. So
exactly.
And this
we are frenzy.
Yeah, and a lot of people go out and get like boys up to the point where they can't remember nothing because they so comfortable around these friends. Do you think we too trustworthy?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people have frenzy, what I like to say. They frenzy anyone who they hang out with, that's their friend. They go out, they chilling, everybody is your friend. You leave your drink around this person because, oh, she's your friend. She can watch, she can look out for you. But everybody ain't your friend. That's a fact.
Most people ain't your friend.
You're damn right with that.
But we don't have boundaries. And that's the problem. If you could sit up there and see your girlfriend out of it and you allowing people to assault her and take advantage of her, I just think that a part of our humanity has died as we have evolved, unfortunately, where we have become so, we're kind of brain dead to the things that we see. Like, look how many people is be watching, fighting and juicing in the club. Remember that video with the gal getting heavily grind in the club?
Hold on, what?
And everybody just...
Which video this was, Chrissy?
This was a video, let's ask the junglist. Dakota, remember the video? Our resident junglist specialist. Remember the video with the gal in the club, and they are screwing in the club, and everybody just looking? This I think it was in Freeport. Sorry, Grand Bahama.
This was in the Bahamas?
I think I vaguely remember the video. Now, while things do come across my desk, Chrissy, I don't really entertain and watch too much things.
You don't put the junglist stamp on it? Scene.
Most things. Like if somebody send that in the group, right, and they say, oh, this is a video of this girl, you getting juice in the club. I ain't even downloading it.
Well, they don't tell you what it is.
Yeah, man.
They just
just happen to see.
Right.
Yeah, see, I don't have auto download. I don't flex like that.
I just stopped auto download, but back in the day,
but this was something that happened in the Bahamas, Chrissy?
The following is a video of someone getting fucked in the club. They don't no intro.
No.
But
no preambles.
This was in the Bahamas?
Yes, I think it was Grand Bahama.
Wow. And guess what?
And people watching.
And
there's another video. You don't remember the video on Potterski Dock? Where the girl is like slobbing the knob of the man on Potterski, and everybody there watching.
What?
We don't have boundaries as a people.
No, I didn't see that. But
y'all never see that video either?
No.
Note to self: delete myself out of these WhatsApp groups.
You and all the junglist groups, man. You always get all the junglist takes.
I don't know how I get in this junglist 242 group.
Sound like she need that title now.
No, I just be like unseen, eyes blind.
But you know what's funny is the thing is this happened to her in Grand Bahama as well. What's going on in Grand Bahama with this raping?
Ain't no fucking jobs.
What? Wow.
That was tacky. Sorry, Grand Bahama.
Wow, that is crazy to me. But we have to educate these young men because clearly this dude did not feel he raped this girl. He felt it was quite fine, even to the point where he could, lay off and then drop off in the morning like everything.
And fall asleep.
Fall asleep.
You just rape me and fall asleep, and I blame her but if you juke him, you'll be in jail.
Yeah, you can't.
Because that's what I was saying too. Like, because I had my key right, and I remember when Patrick was hovering over me, my key was right next to his aorta. But I say no. But if I stab him in his aorta, then that's the carotid. The carotid. Anyway, I just saw. I was like, but if I slice this nigga in the Camaro, then I can be in jail.
But then he tried win the case. He tried to rape you.
He did.
Well, sorry. I mean, well, at the time, when I meant if you were to stab him before he did, he would have, he would have tried to rape you or whatever.
Well, again, we have. Anyway, Lord, what was that famous case? Lord, Greg, I wish I had prepared for this show. Where this person, that was the defense. It was the recent murder where the gay man said that he killed the other man because he came onto him sexually.
You know what? But watch this. And you know what's so crazy? And I think I know if it's the
same. And court was like, yeah.
If it's the same one, that's a case from back in the day that Joan Sawyer presided over. And she went in favor of the man. And so,
wow.
Well, that's what they said, that he, they understood the fact that he
so you may have won,
entitled to kill him.
You may have won, or is it that the Bahamas hates gays so much? Exactly, that's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Is it that we in the Bahamas hate gays so much? And when I say we, I'm talking about generally speaking.
That was the gay thing,
not us.
Yep.
I don't hate gay people. I don't hate no people. I just dislike the actions of evil people. I have no problem with gay people whatsoever.
Same.
Matter of fact, I defend them so much. Some people question whether I gay or not.
Did have that whole homophobia attached to it.
Right. So that's
seriously homophobic.
Right. So that's another thing. So did someone just say run her over?
Run her over? Dakota, where you is?
Where you is, Dakota? You still in the hoodie?
Wow, y'all heard that?
Yes,
That's some
run her
kids
over.
playing. That's some kids playing with one ball.
This is what we telling the children. Run her over.
Lord, the children playing with the ball and saying, "Run her over."
Well, motherfucker.
You know, Iggy.
You see why these men so aggressive now, man? Look what we telling the children. Run her over.
Run her over.
And that's why they feel like they can run.
Low content.
They feel like they can run over y'all, man. They encourage
Run her over
from children.
Wow.
My goodness, that is crazy. But do you ever experience that, Dakota? Anybody ever slip anything in your drink?
Oh no, see me, I am extremely observant and I suffer from a little bout of paranoia, a lot of paranoia, I'll be honest. So I am constantly aware of my surroundings. If I leave a drink behind, I don't come back and drink the same drink.
Yep.
And I don't accept drinks from nobody. If somebody get me a drink, you gonna make the drink in the front of me.
Yep.
So I've never experienced that.
So on that note,
You smart.
let's say who does it fall on? Let's say the responsibility. Now we understand that there's a degree that falls on each party, but I think in this day and age, especially, we lack balance and we tend to operate at the extreme ends, right? So either or men are evil and they need to. I should be able to do whatever I want and however I want, and a man should know how to act and not touch me, blah blah blah. And then
in a perfect world,
right? And then you have the other
Thing
end,
utopia.
the other extreme end as well. But no one is. Well, let me not say no one, because we tend to be more in the middle and pay attention to the nuances of the situation. Because
Dakota, move from them junglers, Sharon.
because I tend to say there's a degree of matter of fact, I put most of the responsibility on the person to make sure that they don't put themselves in situations where things can happen to them. Now, of course, I'm not saying it's their fault. Something happened to them or they got raped. No, never say that. It's always the man's fault if they
but I
push
think
themselves on.
initially, your responsibility to be protective of yourself.
Right.
Be
Because
aware.
these people are out there. These people exist. These things exist. They don't have no consideration and care for you.
Right.
And
They
it's
will
not
drink
so
you and
bad.
take you home and juice you up.
Exactly.
Not good, Nassau.
So you have to look out for you. You know what I mean? And so what are some of the things women can do to protect themselves against scenarios like this, like the ones they can control? Like, of course, you know, the scenario we have as rape, which is someone jumping out the bush and holding you down. Ain't much you can do about that one. But let's say for the consensual rape situation, say you go out for a ride or whatever, he take you out far and you thinking, oh, how I can get back home. What are some of the things women can do to avoid certain situations?
Have mace.
Like, Go ahead, Chrissy.
Have mace is one, because that's one thing. You know, they didn't teach you about the whole key ring, how to fight back, and so definitely have some form of defense for yourself. I think a lot of women we go into these situations so defenseless, but now in this day and age, you have all kinds of things that you can use, and I believe in mace, honey. I believe in pepper spraying your ass to the gods.
Same. And you know, I think females in general have to get out of the mind frame that, oh, that ain't gonna happen to me. Because that's a mind frame that a lot of people have.
Very
like,
important.
oh, I've heard about it, but that's not gonna happen to me. This person wouldn't do that. That person wouldn't do that. You have to understand that you could find yourself in this kind of situation, and that's like me. I am constantly thinking, like when I used to go jogging in the morning, I had to stop because I started getting anxiety while I jogging because I so concerned that somebody could put me in the car or put me on the side of the road and try to rape me. And like literally, I've seen people like driving slow while you jogging on the side of the road and things like that. And so it's very frightening. Like one time I was out jogging on South Beach and I literally sprinted to the police station because somebody was consistently driving slow behind me.
Wow.
Yep, and that's the fear that we women have to deal with all the time.
Every
You
day.
always feel like you're
like
knack that someone's waiting
you
to
can't
attack.
you can't say, oh, this thing happened to me. Be proactive in protecting yourself.
Yes.
Like I say, I'm like the mother of my friends and my teammates. So I am constantly, because I paranoid, I constantly watching, and I tell them, hey, don't leave your drink there. If you leave it, make sure somebody behind. And we all cautious of, if we have drinks, there's always somebody who will watch. And we don't do new friends. We ain't need no strange person watching our shit. No. One of us could be there.
Yeah. And just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Right.
That's my favorite saying.
Well, let me.
Paranoid.
Well,
my paranoia has saved me in many a situation. I tell you.
Out there.
And I think you guys went to a point to where you already in a bad situation, right? Let me go even before that, and I gotta wrap up with this.
That's an hour already?
Almost. We're probably about 10 minutes short, but like I said, I gotta cut out for a meeting. But let me put it this way, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this. I listen to a lot of podcasts as well, right? And my favorite podcast is the Brilliant Idiots. That's with Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz.
You just love Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, man, I love Charlemagne.
I do too. I love Charlemagne.
I love Andrew too. And I agree with so much what Andrew say. But if women were to hear him, they would think this the most misogynistic, pig-headed, braggadocious. But I look beneath all of the stuff because he's a comedian, so he's going to color his stuff with comedy and extremes, right? But he makes excellent points. And so one of the points he made, right, on one recent episode I was listening to was, and this is for women to take into consideration, right? And don't get, triggered, and don't hear something and be like, oh no, that's ridiculous. Listen to the actual point of it, right? He says, if you were to go and sit in a restaurant, right? You ain't eating nothing, but you go sit in a restaurant. The waiter comes, excuse me, will you be having something? And you say, not right now. I don't feel like eating right now, or whatever. So he says, okay, fine. Goes away, comes back to check on you again, see if you want something to eat, because you sitting in a restaurant. His job is to serve the people that are in the restaurant, and so he's going to automatically assume that if you are sitting here in a restaurant, you want something to eat. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, this is almost the same situation with men when you go to their place, to their house, right? So, when you in their house chilling with them or whatever, they assume you come for penis, right?
That's a terrible assumption.
Because you wouldn't. Listen, it's terrible, but it's reality.
But it's true, and I agree. Reality. It's terrible, but it's very factual.
So his place is the restaurant, and you the customer, and he's the waiter in his head. So
with the penis.
Yes. So you are here, so you must come for some penis.
You come to juice.
As long as you are here, he is going to keep checking to see if you want
some
penis.
Dick? Want some dick?
Yeah. So his whole thing is, if you ain't want nothing to eat, get out the restaurant. Get out the place. If you don't want him pushing up on you, get out of the place. Sure, you can be like, but then I don't want to. I should be able to just sit here and chill, and he shouldn't bother me. Unfortunately,
you all right, girl?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
With the uniform.
As long as you are there, he is going to continue to push up on you for some vagina because
that's a man analogy.
That's a
man analogy. Dakota, cut your testosterone down.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
You wrong on that one. Andrew wrong on that one, Greg.
No. See, and this is why the problem will continue to exist, because you all think you all know everything, right?
I will let you know. If you tell me, would you like some penis? I'll be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, but you here. You still here.
That doesn't matter. Also, when you come over to my house.
Here's the problem, Chrissy. Again. Hold on. Take a seat. Listen. Let's learn. Let me learn you something.
Yeah, educate me, because I don't get it. And I believe most women, besides Dakota, with extra testosterone.
In your head, just saying no is enough. Right? Unfortunately, that is not the world or society that we exist in. And in his head, that's no for right now. That no may not hold up 10, 15 minutes, an hour later from now. It may be a different answer because you're still here, right? So he feels as though because you are here, he can coerce you in some way, shape, or form to get the goods because you are present. So do you go keep saying, oh no should be enough. All right, keep saying that. See if that changes.
Yes, that's what I think about it.
What if you come to my house?
Say again?
What if you come to my house?
What you mean?
Then use the
what? You know what? I can't do that one.
No, but man,
I don't disagree, and here's why. Because
I mean, sorry, I do disagree. I understand, but I have to disagree.
Because
every time you come to a man, I've been to men's houses where sex was not in the equation.
Hold on, what you disagree with?
It depends on the person, though.
Exactly. But what you disagree with?
The fact that the analogy of the restaurant to the apartment of the man.
What, on
That's
the
like
whole?
the same Dave Chappelle thing.
You mean you disagree on the whole?
I'm not wearing a uniform of a hoe.
See, but you disagree.
I think the analogies are.
But you could disagree all you want. That don't mean that it ain't a reality.
I agree. I agree there.
You could disagree all you want.
If you invite me over to your house, well, you should say that, hi, I want you to come over to my house. We're going to have some wine, some dinner, and then we're going to have some sex.
But this is why I agree, though, Chrissy. This is why I agree. Because as women, when we go over to a nigga house, we know this nigga want juice. And I don't want one woman to tell me when you go into a man house, whether you have intentions of juicing him or not. I know every man house I ever been to, I know that man wanted the juice before I step foot in that door.
Oh, well, I have to find more juicy friends, I guess. I disagree with that.
But you can disagree all you want.
The thing is, that is an assumption. That is a huge assumption. That just because I come over to your house, I want to have sex.
No, listen.
That's like the Desiree Washington, Mike Tyson thing. But then because Desiree was 2 a.m.
But these are assumptions that are made all the time.
I agree. And that's why women get raped all the time.
But by you agreeing, then you don't disagree with the analogy. I do disagree with the analogy because, again, maybe I'm just older and I look at life differently. But no, you're looking at it.
Go to someone's house.
You're looking at it idealistically. You're looking at it at what it should be.
No, it's not about what it should. It's about what is.
No, you ain't talking about what is. Me and Dakota talking about what is. You talking about what should be.
No, but that's not always true. I don't agree with that. That's not always true.
No, but it's not. It doesn't have to be true in every situation. But if you acknowledge that is true in some situations, then the analogy.
Greg, you can't. Okay, the restaurant, and that's the one thing that you men tend to do. Yeah, you men. The restaurant and coming to the man apartment are 2 different things. The assumption that I came to a restaurant to eat is a great assumption that I came to your apartment to get screwed. I mean, come on, y'all really don't see the difference?
Listen to me.
No, I don't think the analogy is based on the female's perception, Chrissy.
Exactly.
It's not whether you think you come to get juice or not.
No.
Yes, she is. However, it's a male perception that if you come to his house, he automatically assumes that you want to have sex.
Okay, well, that male is an asshole. So I guess half the men in the world are assholes then.
Well, recognizing this, we are encouraging you to make decisions based off of what a man's perspective tends to be, as opposed to what your idealistic.
But it ain't always about you, the man.
What?
It's a mutual. It's reciprocity.
Yes,
it's
I agree.
Quid pro quo.
I agree.
It ain't just you just because I sit in a restaurant.
We should all live in peace and harmony and hold hands and hug and not have weapons and guns. However,
Greg, sitting in the restaurant and sitting in the apartment, tell Andrew, what's that called? The What Idiots? What the name of the podcast is?
Brilliant Idiots. But I think he said it on the Flagrant 2 podcast. But he has a couple of podcasts. But you gotta get the point of the analogy. You don't have
false
to agree with every aspect.
Y'all have to stop with these false equivalencies. It's like the Dave Chappelle thing you played the other week. Just because I have on these clothes does not mean I'm a whore.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. In the Dave Chappelle one, do you know people that think that way?
Yes, I do. But their thinking is whack.
That's
not the point. You have to know your boundaries. Your thinking is whack. And then Dave Chappelle jumps into his other analogy with the man in the policeman uniform. Just because I have on this uniform does not mean I'm a cop.
No,
those are false equivalencies.
No, they are
false
not.
Equivalencies.
No, they are not. They are not.
False equivalencies.
No, just because Christy Love say that don't mean it's true. That's your opinion on it. You think it's false equivalency, but at the same time you agree that it's a reality. How could you say
I think we have to be more aware.
I didn't agree with that.
This is what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it for it to not be true. It is true whether you agree with it or not.
Greg, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the analogy is false. The comparisons are not equally matched. Remember Sesame Street? One of these things is not like the other.
But guess what? The 2 out of the 3 people in this conversation got it and agreed and you didn't.
Well,
so that don't mean just because you don't agree don't mean that we look
you
at it.
Two
We
just think.
No, we look.
Obtusely.
See you get triggered by certain things, and you
Chrissy call us obtuse.
Yeah, you're dead obtuse.
You miss the point sometimes. I look at the analogy for what it is. He was presenting what a man's perspective tends to be in that situation. Okay, well, and you should.
Dare men who think that way, you're wrong.
But listen, this is okay. You can say that all you want.
When a woman wants to screw you, you gonna know.
Listen to me. All I said that to say.
Stop taking woman vagina without her permission.
We all for that, Chrissy. We all agree. Yes. We agree to that. Stop. If the gal ain't consent, it's not yours. Don't take it.
We should start treating men like how we've been treated in history.
Like what? No, but then so what? You can combat mistreatment with mistreatment.
Because it seems that being an asshole is the way to go.
No, that ain't gonna fix that. I don't agree with that aspect. But what?
Y'all, I gotta go.
All right, Dakota.
Bye, Dakota.
I can finish watching. I get to my next destination.
Yeah, Greg gotta go too.
Yeah, I can right now. I can wrap up right now with why I brought that point up. Right. The whole reason
you come to
for
my
that,
apartment, there's
bye guys.
You can get Dakota. Place.
But Chrissy, the whole reason for bringing up that was to say, and like I said, we were trying to give women advice as to how to avoid certain situations in the future.
So don't go to no man apartment if you don't want to get grind. Wow. Really? That's fucked up.
It is, but.
So if you don't want to have sex against your will, do not go to a...
No.
You know what?
Not straight up. Watch this. If you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you may be in that scenario, don't go over to a guy's house.
Wow.
Unless you are okay with, or you feel like you all been dating for a while, or you feel comfortable enough to do it, or you want to go ahead and have sex, then by all means, okay, go ahead. But if you know, and you know deep down, you don't want to have sex with this dude, you don't want no kind of romantic relationship, you don't want none of that, I would recommend. Now listen, women, you always.
Oh, you would recommend? Okay, because you are.
I'm telling y'all
you
what
are
to do.
Wrong. You are wrong. As.
Hey, y'all could take Chrissy advice and continue to be in these peculiar situations and keep reporting, as you can see in the comments, and as I hear from testimonies of women that go out with these men in these scenarios.
Y'all men need home training.
They go over to the house.
Know how to act right.
And they end up in these situations. Y'all could continue to do that if y'all want to. Listen, I ain't telling you what to do. I can't tell you what to do. That's your body. That's you. What I am recommending, based on the reality of the situation and from my experience knowing how a lot of men, not all, but a great number of men tend to think that it is not very wise to go into someone's house if you don't have the intention of taking your relationship further, romantically, physically, sexually.
Are you fucking kidding me, Gregory? Anyway, child, you know what?
Okay, so you think I can tell my daughter? No, fine, man. You should be able to go over him. If once you tell him no, he should respect that. I can't
go to a guy's house.
Hold on. You think I can tell my daughter? Hey, no, man. Listen. Go on by his house. Once you tell him no,
you're gonna raise her to know that men are gonna try and scheme.
No, and then everything should be a-okay and fine and dandy. Go ahead, baby. Go by his house, man. Just tell him no now. Make sure you tell him no, and he will respect that.
Go hug my son to make sure he don't grow up to be an asshole.
I will not be telling my daughter that. I can tell my daughter, listen.
Don't go to none of these niggas' house.
Don't go by none of these niggas, my boy.
Well, child, this could be good. Hold on, let me get my popcorn for the next 12 years of Kaylee. This could be good.
Hey,
this could be good.
Like I say, I can't tell you what to do. That's my advice. That could be my recommendation to my child. I don't know if she can listen to me. She could do what she want to do regardless. But that will be my recommendation. I ain't recommending that she go over by some nigga and I could just be like, oh, well, he's a decent guy. He can say no. He can respect when you say no.
Well, it depends on how long you know the man. There's a lot of variables at stake here.
And that's why
the analogy
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. If you feel comfortable enough, you all gone out enough times, you like this dude, you feel like taking it further physically, sexually, whatever, and you feel comfortable, go ahead. But if you feel like, oh, we just cool. I mean, we cool. We talk a couple times. We cool. I ain't like him like that. I ain't want to have sex with him or nothing. But he say, let's come watch TV or whatever. That's cool. That's my boy. He ain't gonna do nothing to me. That's not a good idea.
Every time a man invites you to his house, it is the assumption is that you gonna get fucked.
No, listen, hear me out good.
Wow.
Hear me out. A lot of men are of the mindset, especially if they are attracted to you physically.
Well, that's most men want to fuck you.
Okay. Well, but I don't have to say no more.
No, but just because you may want it, I want to eat 7 Snickers bars. But it'll shoot my blood sugar to 700.
But see, we
just because you want something, that don't mean you're gonna get it.
But we look at signs and signals differently. And a signal to a man, if a woman is comfortable coming over to his place, I'm not saying all men, but a lot of men take that as, well, this could potentially be some vagina that I could be in. And
that's like saying when you go into the bank, they're having a sweepstakes. This could potentially mean I could be a millionaire. When I go play the lottery, this could potentially, you know what?
What's one of the biggest businesses in
Lord, this is why I single, you know.
Chrissy, what's one of the biggest businesses in the Bahamas right now?
What, selling pussy? I don't know.
No, outside of churches with all over the place, what would you say next?
Oh, number houses? So you believe that the number house analogy is the same thing as the man coming to the apartment is the same as the restaurant analogy?
No, what you say is you put this forth. No, you say, when I go and they have a sweepstakes and this mean I could potentially be a millionaire. What you think that people getting numbers for?
Greg,
they think this could potentially be. But that's how men look at women.
Well, I would. Okay, well, can I ask men to go a little higher up in the vibrational frequency?
I agree. I asked them to do so too. I wish.
Let's do that.
I agree as well. Listen, I'm all for, and that's why I say we have the train. A lot of the older ones, they're not gone. We have the
all y'all who come to my house, just know.
We have to train the younger ones to know that. Listen, her coming to your house is not her consenting to sex. That is not her saying that I.
But isn't that a given?
No, it's not. Based on the testimonials and the things we hear, is it?
But those are the men who have not been socialized properly. Not every man is a predator.
I agree. I'm not saying that because I'm not a predator, and I know men that are not predators.
I don't see. I mean, have you ever raped anyone before?
Never. Okay. Matter of fact, I so cautious with that. I just have to get raped down there. If I first start, I'm talking to a girl. Okay. She gotta take it from me because I'm gonna take my charger block and I'm gonna
throw it at you through the phone.
Man, Chrissy, I dead serious. If you check my first couple girlfriends, they might have probably thought I was gay or something. That's how cautious I is. Listen, I ain't touching you until you make it absolutely clear.
Because some of y'all is jump. Now, let me just say for the record, if you know the person,
will tell you and all.
Man, I don't.
You know how long Keitra wanted me to free up?
I can't take it.
That's how I dead cautious, but
don't talk about my cousin like that.
Every man is not like me, unfortunately.
So how many times did Keitra have to come to the restaurant? Would you like some mashed potatoes with your order? Would you like some fresh bread?
Keitra get tired offering me on the menu, man. She get tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you like some crudité with dip?
But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is it's just a matter of balance. Listen, we all have responsibilities.
Stop raping women.
Yes, please stop. Listen, I can't.
Shit. All these women giving crabby away and selling it. Go buy some. Stop taking people in the bush and holding them down.
One of the things that I hate more than mosquitoes, and let me tell you, I hate mosquitoes more than most things in life. One of those things is rapists. I can't stand rapists.
You know you like? You like that boy. Did you see Jumanji yet?
No, I watch it yet.
One of the characters had an allergic. Mosquitoes would bite him and he'll die.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why that's in my brain.
No, I see that one. But I can't stand mosquitoes. But listen,
mosquitoes and rapists?
I can't stand rapists. You understand?
Well, you need to leave the Bahamas then.
Niggas, y'all need to stop
raping. Move out the Bahamas.
Stop being so desperate for vagina. And I like how they coming up with all these fake women now with these fake vaginas. You could purchase one. If you need some so bad, please go purchase one of them. Please go purchase one of them. Or go help yourself, but stop raping. Please. Stop.
And stop raping boys too.
You don't want no big husky man to hold you down and put it in your hip.
And stop raping boys.
You don't want no man to put something in your drink while you to the club, whining on gals when you look you pass out and you wake up next to a hairy man.
That's what I could do. I could start strapping
with your head on his chest,
a dildo, and I can juice up all these Bayman man who like rape people.
Yeah. So if you don't want no big brawly man to freaking put something in your drink and rape you, please stop doing it to these women. Whatever you don't want a man to do to you, don't do it to these women. That's what I've been preaching, and I will always do
that.
Be
disgusting. Y'all baming man just want to stick your dog in woman anus, but y'all don't like it done to y'all though, and you call yourself straight, you bitch ass. Anyway, Lord, you know what? It's time to go.
Anyhow, let me go. I don't go be late for this meeting. Anyhow, let me wrap this up.
You need to be late for that meeting. Stay away from that Tropsy gal.
Oh, jeez. Who tell you? Now, I know that only could come from one place. Only one person could tell you that. One person.
Look here. I may not be in the Bahamas, but I'm everywhere.
Please. That's all y'all gossipy people. Y'all is just tell things. So anyhow, let me go. I just wanted to open this conversation with the various types of rape because, like I said, next week we're going to try to have her on the show, the young lady that I heard on the 8-Year Juniors podcast
Seniors
that talked about her 10-Year Seniors is the company, but they have an 8-Year Juniors podcast.
Oh, that's the podcast.
Yeah, that's a subsidiary.
I gotta go listen to them. They on SoundCloud?
Yeah, they on SoundCloud.
Because I just read Drew talking shit, but I don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, they on SoundCloud. So I'm still working on trying to get her. She's supposed to get back to me with her schedule for next week.
Okay.
So hopefully,
and more women ought to talk about it.
Yes,
but you know, when you talk about it, you are ostracized.
Yes.
Like when I started talking about it, you get ostracized.
Yeah, that's what we started. That's why I started the show for, to have these conversations. But a lot of people are still, cautious, or they may be afraid, or they don't want to out certain people, and so they don't want to have those discussions. But she's brave for doing it. She wrote a blog as well. I don't have the blog on hand, but it was the rape blog. She wrote a rape blog. She wrote about it, and then they had her on the show after she wrote the rape blog. And so I'm trying to get her on for next week. So hopefully, if we get her, she'll tell her story again. And then I'll
be listening to that show. Good many baby women have been raped. Yes. Abused, molested, treated like shit because we don't value women and girls in our country.
Right, and we're going to talk more about the underreporting.
So I need to cut your cock off and sew it up in your mouth with fishing wire. Not that I thought about it.
And on that note,
came
folks,
to me just now.
We want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you. We ask that you please share the video. Please share it. Tag your friends. Look for us on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/Go Under the Rug. Under the Rug Podcast. The videos, we upload them to YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Search for the Under the Rug Podcast on YouTube. Search for Chrissy Love Live to the World on YouTube. That's where you can find Chrissy Love every day in between 2 to 4. Well, Monday to Friday. In between 2 and 4, you can find her in her Tropsy self talking about people on her show.
That's right.
Look for that on YouTube. Yeah, look for us, Under the Rug Podcast on YouTube. You can subscribe to us on iTunes as well.
Kudos to you, Gregory.
No excuses.
You changed in the Bahamas, Gregory.
Well, I hope so. We can see. We'll find out. We'll know. Time will tell. We'll see. But I trying to do my part. I only doing what I could. And on that note, thank you once again. People, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, share the video. Continue to spread the word. And until next week, peace out.